All right, shalom, shalom. It's the brother Kushab coming back at you with another lesson. Before I get started, I'd like to give all praises, glory, infinite honors unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. And peace, blessings, and many salutations to the hopefully elect. All right, and as you can see, I got queued up this lesson. Just a little clip from camp. All right, and which was spirit was heavy. All right, moving on. Pretty much being baptized with the fire, man. All right, which represents catching hell. All right, afflictions, infirmities. Okay, because so I'm gonna get in a second, and I'm gonna let this play too. You know, it is heavy. All right, I'm gonna just let this play first. All right.
Try doing that.
It gotta be kindled. It gotta be kindled. But the things that's necessary to kindle it have to be thrown in it. You can't just throw anything in it for the kindle. Right. You'll see? You'll smother it. You'll do. So the Lord, in order to build his fire in his men, he's throwing the ingredients that's needed to kindle their fire, man. That's why men's spirits are invigorated, man. You gotta get fire in you to serve the Lord, man.
Yeah.
They just want to come.
And what the brother saying is heavy, man. All right. The ingredients that the Lord throwing in there is the different types of afflictions. All right. The different types, what you call, Salaki for the, I can't really think of the word. All right. But, you know, like they say, a fork in the road. All right. That's what the Lord is constantly doing to his men to what? Ultimately to keep them uncomfortable in this society. All right. Ultimately to have them continue to grow. All right. And nourish in this truth, man. All right, because the it's a purging process as we was going into. You know, you can watch the whole lesson. It's on the GMS New Orleans page. All right, the live camp from Saturday. You know, this purging process as you know we was going into. All right, is all to refine us, to make us better. All right, and ultimately to bring us back to the purest state that we can get to, all right, before we get to the chariots, man. All right, which is why the Lord is doing that, to purify us, all right?
Around like, nah, you gotta want to get hunger. Like, no, I need to start leveling up, man. You know? And you do that by your fire is gonna get kindled. The more you go hard for the Lord, putting off other things that don't kindle your fucking self, man.
Right. And spirit, when you start to put off more things in this world that's contrary to, you know, when we come into this truth, all right, when we come into this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding, it's constantly a fight, all right, between the flesh and the spirit, all right. But the more that, as a brother was saying, the more that you put those worldly things off, those things that are not productive in the spirit, the more you're going to grow in this truth, all right? The more you're going to come up on the level in this truth, man, all right? And that's heavy because it's definitely a constant battle, but you have to put those things off, man. You know, I was listening to the lesson, one of the brothers, the GMS Yorkshire, all right, I believe the page, you know, that brother, he was going into your leisure time, all right? Well, if you're not able, it's been, you know, months, years, and you still on the same level, well, obviously you're not doing enough in your leisure time, all right? Yeah, that's men that are slower to learn, slower to, you know, study, but ultimately you got to put more work in, all right? And you got to know what needs to be sharpened for you to come up on a higher level, man. You see?
Is a candle in it, all right? In order for it to be lit and be going, the Lord, you got to be giving more to the Lord, dealing with the Lord, man. And the Lord going to flame you up. Because we flames, man. You got it, bro.
There's a process, if I may add, you brothers got it. Right?
Those brothers who, you know, deal with outdoors and things like that, starting fires,
right? It's, you know, we're not talking about, you know, having a big lighter. And even with that, it's a process to starting a fire. You can't just have an ember and just throw a heap of tinder on it. Right? You will smother the flame. Right? And you can't just throw
Right. And if I may, if you smother the flame, according to 1 Corinthians 10 and 13, we know that the Lord not going to give us temptations that we can't handle. All right. He always going to make a way for us to escape. He always going to make a way for us to battle those temptations. All right. But what the brother is alluding to, when you just smother the flame, all right, well, that means you can't handle what the temptations that the Lord was giving you. All right. And we know the ultimate one who brings the flame is Yahweh Shai. All right. Which I'm going to get that in a minute. Okay. We know Yahweh Shai is the one that gives us the flame. All right. He's the one that puts more hell on us. He's the one that takes the hell up off of us, man. All right. He adds the fuel. All right. And he takes it away. As his brother's going, we're going to go into it.
Gasoline on a small flame. Right? It's going to implode on you, though. Right? And then what good is the flame?
Right. And as you say, you put too much on the small flame, it's going to implode. All right. So the Lord know exactly what to do. All right. When we going through hell, man. All right. So this, to back up the point the brother was making, is 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. It says, therefore, had no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. All right. And the things that we go through is common. All right. It's not like the things you go through, all right, in this truth, the things that you bear are something that a brother's never been through before. All right. As I did the lesson most recently, already strengthened thy brethren. All right. But it says the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. All right. So the Lord not going to give us more than we can handle, man. All right. He always got an escape route, an escape plan. All right. And there's light, always light at the end of the tunnel. All right. You just have to bear it. Okay. Meaning, as the brother was alluding to, he not going, I'll bring it back a little bit. Right.
We're not talking about, having a big lighter. And even with that, it's a process to starting a fire. You can't just have an ember and just throw a heap of tinder on it. Right? You will smother the flame. Right? And you can't just throw gasoline on a small flame. Right? It's going to implode on you.
Yeah.
Right? And then what good is the flame to you when you destroyed by it?
Yeah.
Okay? So it's a process that the Lord have to build your flame up. Right? You have to sit down, you have to blow into it, and you can't blow vigorously. You have to tend to it. It's like a with the
Right, and that's what the Lord is doing. He's tending to our flames, man. All right. He makes it a little hotter. He makes the situations that we go through a little more diverse. And then he pull back a little bit, you see? Which is how we are being baptized, all right, which goes into the word, I believe, baptizo or baptismo. I might have to get it, which means to be fully submerged in water, all right? So if the Lord is cleansing us through the washing of the word, okay, and through the hell that we catch with the fire, then ultimately we are being made purified, man. All right.
Bushmen, they look at it like a baby. You have to care for it as a small baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just to back up the brother, it's a process. The Lord have to deal with you, all right, in order to bring your flame up. You got it.
And that's what the Lord is doing with his men. He kindling it. He blow it a little bit. All right, Jay catching hell 3, 4, 5 months in a row, and then after that, the Lord allowed the fire to just subside a little bit. Because that's the perfect way to cook something.
Exactly. Right.
Just like the frog in the pot, you can't turn it too high. It gotta have the perfect what? Boiling temperature.
That's right.
To get the food cooked to its perfection. You can't put on some shit on 8. Some things gotta go on 8 till it get it browned up to the water, and you gotta 11 to 6.
Burn it.
So you gonna burn things. So you gotta, even while you cooking, you gotta watch the fire.
That's
like
right,
it's time to turn it down. It's time in the beginning to turn it up, to get the water boiling, the things going. So even with us, until the Lord make the perfect flame, because you can't even be wild with your flame. You can't even, if your spirit is so wild, it's gonna be uncontrolled. Uncontrolled fire will burn yourself. Yeah. And no man that got fire wanna burn himself, man.
Right.
All right, because now you're killing your own self. So you gotta be able to maintain your own spirit, man.
That's right.
All right, and the Lord is doing that through a purging process. There's a
Right.
process.
So you got to maintain your own spirit. All right, when you're going through your adversity, you see, you can't let the adversity that you're going through rule over your spirit. The Lord is bringing you through it so you can rule over your spirit. All right, and not let other things control you. All right, or make emotional decisions, man. You see. Now, it brings me to Luke. I believe it's 21 and 34. It says, "And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with satiety and drunkenness and cares of this life." All right, and that's the point of ruling over your spirit, because you have to take heed to yourself, man. All right. It says, "Lest at any time your hearts be overcharged," all right, meaning overbeared, all right, mentally, the maximum mental capacity. Okay, you have to take heed to that. All right, we got the truth. All right, we rely on the scriptures for everything that we go through. All right, the elders always say this, the apostles. Every situation that you go through, there's an account for in the truth. I mean, in the scriptures, man. You see, so we have to take heed to that. All right, and not let our hearts be overcharged with satiety, man, and drunkenness and cares of this life. You know. And so that day come upon you unawares, because when you can't rule over your own spirit, all right, and your spirit starts to control you, all right, and look, man, when you can't rule over your own self, how do you expect to be a ruler in the kingdom of heaven? All right, I'm gonna just put it simply just like that. You know, if you can't rule over yourself, all right, and continue to keep a cool head and better iniquities, the afflictions that you go through right now at this present time, then how do you expect to be a ruler in the kingdom of heaven, man? We just read 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, the 13th verse. So whenever we go through something, that should be automatically pop through your head. Hey, I know it's a way out of this. All right, the Lord ain't going. You got to trust and know and have faith that the Lord not going to have you to a point to where you just can't bear nothing, man. You just at your wits end. No, man. The Lord say, I'm going to always have a way for you to escape out of it. And I'm going to always give you the strength and the spirit to bear it, man. You know? And the brother about to make a beautiful point here.
Like I say, our elder brother Yakina talks about it all the time. When is the flame at its perfectness? When it's that calm blue flame.
That blue flame. It's a whole other color.
Mm-hmm. Because when the fire's out of control, it's raging, and you can tell when that fire's red, it's raging, it's super hot. When it's too low, it's like a spark, it's like a embers. But when it's at that perfect blueness, it's calm and it's perfect. And it even says one of your favorite ones in Proverbs, the blueness of the womb.
Yep.
Hey, that blueness, healing everything.
Yes.
Heavy. That back up what you were saying.
Right. And that the blueness of the womb cleanseth away evil. All right. And so after you've bared the temptations, all right, after, you come out on the other side better, you come out on the other side of the coin, more encouraged, all right, you get closer to the Lord like that, all right, and ultimately, it brings you further and further away from the cares of this world, all right, the things of this world, and closer to the Lord, man, all right, that blueness that brother's talking about with the fire, that real calm part, all right, that's heavy, man, because, yeah, the fire get hot, all right, it start busting out all over the place, but then ultimately under that fire, you have that it starts to subside, it starts to go down, and then it gets to a point to where it's just calm, you see? And that's the point that the Lord always brings our spirit back to, all right, being calm, man, all right, being back at, after I just lost my train of thought. I'm gonna just let it play.
Backing up what you were saying, the Most High, he'll put you through things to, temper that steel, purify that gold. He'll pull back, let you heal up a little bit, then hit you with a different shot.
And what? Each shot you get hit with, that just makes you that much more perfected and perfect and be able to what? More utilize yourself in the truth and in your walk.
Acceptable. Heavy, y'all.
Yeah, that's heavy, bro. All right, that was pretty much it. You know, but hey, the brother, he couldn't have said it any better, man. You know. So he draws back from that fire, then do what? Hit you with something else, and at the end of the day, you'll be a master of pretty much various situations, man. You know. But I'm gonna end it off at the Matthew 3, right? Yep, this Matthew 3:11. It says, "I indeed baptize you with water unto repentance." So this is John speaking. All right, he said, "I indeed baptize you with water unto repentance, but he that cometh after me is mightier than I, whose shoes I am not worthy to bear. He shall baptize you with the Holy Spirit and with fire." All right, and the Lord is baptizing his men with fire, man. All right, purging them out of the uncleanliness, all right, and restoring godliness, man. You see? And that was the point of that whole lesson, that the Lord is purging his men out, all right, tending to their spirits, all right, their flames, and ultimately to make them what? Perfect. You see? God-like, back to those former estates as far as we can get, all right, before we get to those chariots, man. You know? And ultimately to endure the things that's coming. You see? Endure Jacob's trouble. All right? Endure the hour of temptation. Okay? All the way until we hear that last trump, man. You see? Because if the Lord not baptizing you with fire right now, it's going to be a tough time for you to get through the things that's coming. You see? It tell you in Hebrews 12 that he chastises us not as he that's without chastisement is a bastard. All right? But he that has chastisement, he chastises them, he deal it with them as sons, man. You see? So, you know, that's pretty much the point. I ain't gonna keep hopping in on it. All right, and Lord will, you know, you go watch this camp video. Very edifying camp. All right, and it's GMS New Orleans. Lord will, I'll leave it in the description box. All right, but GMS New Orleans live camp from Saturday. So, you know, Abba Radazah, that was edifying. Till the next time, I say shalom.